Published 0359 EDT, the 3rd of October 2017. Updated 1222 EDT, the 3rd of October 2017. President Donald Trump pushed back against critics of his administration's response to disaster that Hurricane Maria wrought on Puerto Rico by giving himself an A+ grade. The president issued his self-evaluation shortly before boarding Marine One en route to an island almost entirely without power that is enduring food shortages, fuel problems, a lack of clean water, and critics say an insufficient presence of troops and responders. In Texas and Florida we get an A+, Trump told reporters. And I'll tell you what, I think we've done just as good in Puerto Rico, and it's actually a much tougher situation. Grade inflation. President Donald Trump gave himself an A+ on hurricane response as he heads to storm-ravaged Puerto Rico. The president declined to criticize the mayor of Puerto Rico, after dinging her with a series of tweets over the weekend following her call for a more robust response. "Well, I think she's come back a long way," Trump said, in apparent reference to San Juan Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz. "I think it's now acknowledged what a great job we've done, and people are looking at that," the president said. Trump also took a shot at Puerto Rican truck drivers who are needed to move supplies out of the ports. "We need their truck drivers to start driving trucks," Trump said. "On a local level they have to give us more help." But he continued to heap praise on first responders and on FEMA. "I will tell you, the first responders, the military, FEMA, they have done an incredible job in Puerto Rico," Trump said. "Whether it's the mayor or anybody else, they're all starting to say it. I appreciate very much the governor and his comments," Trump said, in reference to Governor Ricardo Rossello. "He has said we've done an incredible job, and that's the truth." President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump make their way to board Air Force One before departing from Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland en route Puerto Rico on October 3, 2017. The president's top-class rating for himself comes after he was criticized for issuing a series of tweets about the NFL as the disaster unfolded. He later called critics on the island ingrates, complaining they want everything to be done for them when it should be a community effort. Destroyed communities are seen in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria in Toa Alta, Puerto Rico, Thursday, September 28, 2017. The aftermath of the powerful storm has resulted in a near-total shutdown of the U.S. territory's economy that could last for weeks and has many people running seriously low on cash and worrying that it will become even harder to survive on this storm-ravaged island. Dead poultry are seen in a farm, in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, in Aybonito, Puerto Rico, Monday, September 25, 2017. A government official said that the farm, which supplies the only fresh chicken in Puerto Rico, lost more than 1 million chickens. AP photo. Gerald Herbert. Jonathan Aponte walks with a gas can up the road to his home in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, in Yabucoa, Puerto Rico, Tuesday, September 26, 2017. Governor Ricardo Rossello and Resident Commissioner Jennifer Gonzalez, the island's representative in Congress, have said they intend to seek more than $1 billion in federal assistance, and they have praised the response to the disaster by President Donald Trump, who plans to visit Puerto Rico next week, as well as FEMA Administrator Brock Long. AP photo. Gerald Herbert. "We have done a great job with the almost impossible situation in Puerto Rico. Outside of the fake news or politically motivated ingrates, people are now starting to recognize the amazing work that has been done by FEMA and our great military. All buildings now inspected for safety," Trump wrote in 2 tweets. Trump is heading to San Juan on Tuesday to meet with some of the 3.4 million Puerto Ricans struggling to recover from Hurricane Maria, as criticism that the federal government's response has been sluggish continues. The president is expected to spend more than 5 hours on the island, meeting with first responders, local officials and some of the residents struggling to recover from a hurricane that, in Trump's words, left the island U.S. territory flattened. "There's nothing left. It's been wiped out," Trump said last week. "Nobody has ever seen anything like it." President Donald Trump makes a statement about the mass shooting in Las Vegas, Monday, October 2, 2017 at the White House in Washington. AP photo. Even Vucci. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump make their way to board Air Force One before departing from Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland en route Puerto Rico on October 3, 2017. The trip will be Trump's 4th to a region battered by storms during an unusually violent hurricane season that has also seen parts of Texas, Florida, Louisiana and the U.S. Virgin Islands inundated by floodwaters and whipped by winds. Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are scheduled to attend briefings and meet with Gov. Ricardo Rossello, as well as the governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands. They'll also meet with Navy and Marine Corps personnel on the flight deck of the USS Kearsarge. Even before the storm hit on September 20, Puerto Rico was in dire condition thanks to a decade-long economic recession that had left its infrastructure, including the island's power lines, in a sorry state. Maria was the most powerful hurricane to hit the island in nearly a century and unleashed floods and mudslides that knocked out the island's entire electrical grid and telecommunications, along with many roads. President Donald Trump speaks to the media while flanked by First Lady Melania Trump before departing on Marine One from the White House. On October 3, 2017 in Washington, D.C., President Trump is traveling to Puerto Rico after it was ravaged by Hurricane Maria last month. President Donald Trump, accompanied by First Lady Melania Trump, talks to reporters as he walks to board Marine One on the south lawn of the White House in Washington, Tuesday, October 3, 2017. Nearly 2 weeks later, 95% of electricity customers remain without power, including some hospitals. And much of the countryside is still struggling to access basic necessities, including food, fresh water and cash. Trump and other administration officials have worked in recent days to reassure Americans that recovery efforts are going well and combat the perception that the president failed to fully grasp the magnitude of the storm's destruction in its immediate aftermath. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said Monday the trip would focus on local recovery efforts, which we're fully committed to. The top priority for the federal government is certainly to protect the lives and the safety of those in affected areas and provide life-sustaining services as we work together to rebuild their lives, she said. While early response efforts were hampered by logistical challenges, officials say that conditions, especially in the capital, have improved. According to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, there are now more than 10,000 federal officials on the ground on the island, and 45% of customers now have access to drinking water. Businesses are also beginning to reopen, with 60% of retail gas stations now up and running. For many, however, that isn't enough. On Monday, the nonprofit Oxfam announced that it would be taking the rare step of intervening in an American disaster, citing its outrage over what it called a slow and inadequate response.